All right, I'm Brad.
And I'm Luke.
Hey, leaders of the Uprising. This is going to be our really quick training video. We're going to do this instead of making you guys come to a meeting, because we know you guys aren't going to want to come to a meeting. You're not going to have time to come to a meeting.
Sure.
But be sure you watch all the way to the end of this video, because at the end of the video, there's going to be something really, really cool, and we really want you guys to get everything that we're going to talk about in this video. For the Uprising this year, the first thing we're going to talk about is last year was Scent Week. You guys probably all remember that. You have some of these beautiful shirts. And we really love Scent Week. But one of the things about Scent Week was the name was named for Scent Week because it was 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th graders. Mm-hmm. And this year it's not. Actually, last year it even wasn't. Last year it was only 8th, 9th, and 10th. So we were actually Int Week. But we just decided to go with Scent Week because we thought it was cooler. But this year we kind of wanted to modernize. We kind of wanted to come into the future. And we thought that the idea of the Uprising is a really cool idea. This year our main theme and our name is going to be the Uprising. In future years, we're going to have the Uprising, and then we're going to have like a sub-theme, like you do at a lot of other events. So whatever it will be the Uprising blank. We don't know what it's going to be for next year yet, but we're all super looking forward to that. But for this year, it's just going to be the Uprising. So one of the things me and Luke have done is, for the last 9 months, anytime one of us forgets and calls it the wrong name, the other one just like, gotta call it the right name. So
right.
If you guys want to do that, that's fine. If we call it the wrong name, do that to us. If you call it the wrong name, we probably won't do that to you unless you tell us we can, because we try not to hit people as a general rule.
That's right. That gets us into trouble. So this year, with the Uprising curriculum, what we want to accomplish is we want to be able to help take kids who are at kind of an elementary level in their faith. Maybe they're following God on a 30-40% basis, where they have that foundation, they know who God is, they've been in church a good part of their life, but they really don't know how to go deeper. We want to help take kids from that 30% to 100%. We want kids to know not just that God loves them, but that they play a huge role in that story of redemption. And so with the Uprising, one thing that we really are excited about is we want to give students the opportunity to go deeper with some of our classes for the week.
So the classes we're going to do this week are actually kind of, it's going to be a unique thing. We're going to be trying it out kind of for the first time. We think it could really show some awesome fruits from it. So what we're going to do is the first 2 days of our classes, so that'll be Monday and Tuesday, those classes will be elective for everyone. There'll be a couple electives that are what I would say is a more standard camp class. And then there's going to be one elective that we're gonna sell it on stage, and we really want you guys to sell it as adult leaders. As Absolutely. This is for kids who've grown up in church who I mean, in a lot of ways they need to be challenged. Like there's some kids that you see and they're in church every week, they're in and out of church, but you're not sure, like, how do I get them to that next level? And this class is going to be for those kids. And the cool part about it is that the goal of the classes this week is we want every kid by the end of the week to be able to tell their testimony in 3 minutes or less. Mm-hmm. And the way we're going to achieve that is, so the first 2 days, day one, there's going to be the deeper class and there's going to be the 2 regular classes. In the deeper class, what the students are going to do is the first day, they're going to write their own 3-minute testimony. And then the second day, we're going to kind of drop a bomb on them. And it's going to be, we're not sure, they're probably not going to like it, but we really think if it works out, it could be an awesome experience. And what we're going to do is we're going to tell those deeper students that they are teaching the same class we taught them on Monday. They're going to teach that to all the other students who are at this week, and they have 2 days to do that. And so a lot of those second 2 days of classes is going to be whatever these kids want it to be, and we're gonna work together and help them, and we hope that all of you guys are going to work together and help them too. But we're really hoping that this experience is going to be unique, and it's going to take some of our kids who are already at 80 or 90% and change them from being really good church, like attenders, really good youth group members, to leaders. And we're also going to take them and kind of teach them that there's not really all that much to teaching your friends about Jesus, because honestly, at the end of the day, that's what we want our students to be doing. We want our students to be bringing this message to their friends, not just bringing their friends to us so we can teach them that lesson. So all of our classes this year that's going to kind of be the precipice. The goal is by the end of the week, every kid gets there. And that's going to take a lot of help from all of our leaders, because all of you know, if you've done this before, you're going to have a student or 2 students or 5 students or 10 students in your family who are going to have a really, really hard time with this. and we're going to really be asking you guys as much as you can, push them, help them, do whatever you can to get these kids to this place, so that way this is an encouraging thing for these students. It's an encouraging thing for these other students who are leading for possibly the first time. It's going to be a really cool opportunity. It's a really cool idea, but it is going to take a lot of teamwork. So let's stick together through these classes. It's going to be an adventure for sure.
Yeah, and Brad, I'm really excited about those deeper classes too, because something that we see in our student ministries, or a lot of you leaders have probably seen in your churches with students, is that students desire to go deeper. A lot of times you see that they're right on the edge, the precipice of wanting to go deeper, but they don't know how to get outside of their shell. They don't know how to tell their story in a real way that isn't just, hey, here's a Bible and let me just put it in your face. They don't know how to do that with their friends in their schools and in their communities. And so with the deeper classes and with the challenges that we're going to be giving those students to then challenge their peers, it's just a huge, huge opportunity that we have to pour into them, and then to show them that there's an expectation that not just that we have for them, but that God has for them as student leaders in their communities and in their youth ministries.
So the last thing that we have for you guys, this is kind of your quote-unquote training, and I don't know if it's as much training as it is. These are the things that we really want you guys to focus on. Most of you guys work with students on a daily or a weekly basis. So a lot of what we're going to do here is we're not training you to go super deep. We're just saying, hey, this week we really want you to focus. And this week there's 3 things that we really want you to focus on. Luke's going to tell you one, then I'm going to tell you one, then Luke's going to kind of come back to the last one. And these are kind of the 3 biggest things. If we could have anything and we tattooed it on your hand, so all week whenever you do anything, you see it. These are the 3 things that we want you to come into the week ready and expecting to do.
Absolutely. The first thing that we are asking of you as leaders for this week is just to spend as much time as possible with the students. So one of the tendencies a lot of times that we see at camp or within youth groups is that when we have adults spending time together, we tend to gravitate toward one another. We tend to hang out with each other. But this week, the Uprising Week, is about helping these kids go deeper in their faith, helping these kids realize that they can be incredibly impactful in their communities with their friends. And one of the things that's going to just be a huge factor in that is all of our faculty spending time with students. So that is, I don't know if a priority can be put on these 3 things, but I mean, if there is any priority, of the highest one is we want you to spend time with the students. So the reason why we need to spend more time with students is because one of the things we see within family groups at camp is that we have some students that can really relate well with the adult leaders, but then we have other students who just view the adults as, well, they lead the group and they have all the knowledge, so I just need to sit quietly. We don't want that type of atmosphere. We want all students to see that you are right there beside them, that there's not a gap that separates you two because of age or because of maturity, but that you guys are one together, and that students feel comfortable, that they feel safe, that they feel like they can be fully themselves during that week because of your involvement with them.
Yeah, definitely. The second thing that we kind of want to tell you guys, this is a little bit more basic, but I really wanted to bring it up, is to remember that throughout this week, you guys are going to be the role models for these students. And some of you guys are teachers. Some of you guys are really used to the fact that you really kind of need to be the adult in the room a lot of times whenever you're working with students. And so we kind of want to kind of challenge you guys and push you guys that to remember that throughout this week. Remember that you're not the one who needs to be in the middle of the group making the jokes. That sometimes you need to be the one going, hey guys, I love having fun as much as you do, but this is a serious moment. And for some of you guys, this isn't something I need to challenge you with because this is one of your strengths. But for some of you guys, that might be something that you'll really need to take into this week, is remember that while you're supposed to be there, you're supposed to be their peers, you're supposed to be having fun. At the same time, we also kind of have to be role models. And it's a little bit difficult, but to me, that's the nature of student ministry, is it's always the balance between how much can I be a kid and how much do I need to be sure that I'm impacting these kids in ways that's going to last beyond this week of camp.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's such an important thing, too, because role modeling does show these students that, hey, I've been where you've been. I know what it's like to be where you're at. Let me model this for you. Let me help you on this journey. So thanks for sharing that, Brad.
Yeah.
The last thing that we had to share with you guys as far as expectations we have for you, I think is the most, exciting, fun thing. It's to have team spirit. So during Uprising Week, we're going to have team colors. We did that last year for Scent. We're going to do that again this year for Uprising. But what we really want to see with our team spirit and the teams coming together and having fun and competing and stuff is we want those families, those teams to really be strong together. And again, going back to role modeling, you adults have to model that as far as team spirit goes. You're going to have some kids that get really excited. You're going to have some kids that are like, I don't really care about team spirit. But when it comes from you guys and it comes from some of those stronger kids desiring that team spirit, desiring to just have a blast with your family group for the week, we can see that go a long way as far as continuity.
And one of the most important things that you can do to go with that idea of team spirit is in the same email that you got this video, there's going to be a team schedule. It's going to put certain adults that are assigned to certain teams. So actually right now, as you're watching this video, you should know what color your team is going to be. Yeah. And we're not at any point, I'm not saying, hey, if you're on the blue team, I want you to only wear blue shirts all week. Like, we don't want to do anything ridiculous, but at the same time, we really do want you to make this fun for some of these students. So some of you ladies, whenever we tell you you're the blue team, you're going to start buying stuff for the next month, and that's awesome. But some of our guy groups we noticed last year, especially, some of them kind of didn't have a lot of those colors going on. And then we went up to the field to play games, and it's like, hey, we're blue team versus red team, and we can't make the kids wear the right color every day and all that kind of thing. But and we're going to do the same thing we did last year. We're going to buy you guys some face paint that kind of matches your team colors, so we always match and bandanas. But if we would really love it as much as possible. If as much blue stuff as you have, bring it. If you have like blue Mardi Gras beads for your whole team to wear, bring them. Make that be your thing. If you're the black team, then I don't know, you probably can't wear like a Sting mask all week, but there's some really cool stuff you can do with your team colors, and we really this is something that we really want to kind of unleash you guys, that I want each of these to be unique. We could go out to the store and buy like 50 blue hats and 50 red hats and 50 yellow hats and every team would get a hat, but we really feel like it's so much cooler when it feels like every team is their own thing for their own reasons. And so, like last year, one of our teams brought a mascot. That'd be awesome. Pick a mascot for your color. Bring something cool. Bring something that your kids can grasp onto, hold on to. If you bring a bunch of them, send them home with them. If you want to collect them at the end of the week, that's fine. But the idea is this team spirit can really build the week into something a lot greater than the simple stuff that it's kind of made out of. It can become greater than the sum of its parts, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. So those are our expectations for you guys, and we're really excited to serve alongside you with those.
We think it's going to be a really, really awesome week. And as we wrap up here, the last thing we're going to ask from you is we're going to ask from you actually right now and until camp starts and during camp, and you can keep going after camp. And that's to pray for the week. Me and Luke are doing a ton of work to get this week ready. We're doing a ton of things, and as much as possible, we're following God in all these things. We're doing as much as we can, but weeks that are successful are weeks that are bathed in prayer. Because at the end of the day, I'm not changing students. Luke's not changing students. God is changing students, and through prayer, that's how we get God as a part of this process. So we ask you guys as adults, real quick, please pray for this week today. Even better, what I did is I put a thing in my phone to where every day at 12:05 my phone goes, pray for the Uprising. And so I do. It just takes me 1 minute, but it's a really cool way, and it's really aligned me to be ready for this week. And I'm already so excited about it, and I really wish it wasn't so far away.
Yeah, and as you're praying for us, for the week of camp, for Curtis as he's speaking, I think this goes without saying, but don't forget, pray for the students. Mm-hmm. As registrations continue to come in, as our week continues to build with momentum and excitement, we need to be praying for these students because they're coming in with different struggles. They're coming in with different things going on in their life, and they just need to be lifted up. We need to lift them up daily And again, like Brad said, challenging yourself, putting something in your phone to remind you, pray every day for the Uprising, pray for Uprising students and for the week. I would just highly encourage you that it's so important to be praying for each and every one of our students that are coming, because God's going to do something huge in their life. We see that every year at camp, and we're just expecting Holy Spirit to move.
Cool. Feels kind of awkward to kind of go from that into this, but the last thing we have is so we really want you guys to watch this video, and if you're watching it, then you're probably going to understand why, because this is the nuts and bolts of our week. And so what we're going to do is, if you watch this video, we're going to reward that. We're going to get some swag for you that matches the event, other than the shirt that you kind of get every year.
Yeah.
And we're going to give that to you actually at that very first meeting. Mm-hmm. And what you need to do to get that is you need to email either Luke or me. Mm-hmm. What do you want to email us? What word? Pick something fun.
Dolphin.
Dolphin. All right. So you're going to email Luke or I a picture or a GIF or just the word dolphin, whatever you want to do, but we need to know that you saw this, and that's going to get you a little bit of extra swag for our week. The other adults who don't do this, they're actually going to have to work for it throughout the week. Right. We're going to have them some opportunities. And the other thing that kind of goes with this is, as much as possible, we want you guys to encourage them to watch this video. Yeah. And the one thing that we'll beg of you is, please don't tell your friends, hey, text Brad a picture of a dolphin. Yeah. Or the same thing with Luke. We really want this to be a really cool way that we all be sure that we each watch this video, but we don't want anybody to kind of cheat the system and get to the week and be like, well, what's the week about? And it's like, well, we sent you a video that tells you all about the week and all the things we want from you. Didn't you watch it? No, I just sent you a picture of a dolphin. So as much as possible, we'd like to avoid that. So we're going to need you guys' help with that. Other than that, I'm super excited for this week.
I'm so pumped. I know last year we got off to an incredible start to this week, and with us switching gears a little bit and this becoming Uprising week, I can't wait. I'm so pumped about it. So make sure, send us that email or text, Dolphin. Have some fun with it, and we'll see you guys at Uprising here in a couple weeks.